Hi.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Thomas Ashbourne Holiday Happy Hour to benefit Feeding America. We've all joined together to kind of get together and kick off our holidays for 2024, whether or not be to celebrate Halloween or Thanksgiving or Christmas or Hanukkah or New Year's. We just wanted to kind of come together and say hi and give a great cheers to everybody along the way. So I'm going to kind of kick it off with a couple of questions that have come in so far from around the world. So, in terms of favorite holidays, I wanted to kind of ask what's everybody's favorite holiday and how do you kind of get into it?
I feel like we need to figure out our order that we're gonna.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
You go first.
I'll go first. I love Halloween. I think everybody knows that. It is no
Yeah.
secret. I love it so much. I love the entire month of October. I love the scary movies. I love dressing up. I love the crispness in the air, the pumpkin patches, the whole nine yards. It's just the best.
Do you mix up Halloween and Christmas? Like our house right now has some Christmas and some skeletons in it.
Oh, no. There is no cross contamination.
Except for the Nightmare Before Christmas. That kind of
Never
sometimes
before
sneaks in.
Christmas goes both ways.
That is
Yes.
loud.
And that
And
I
that's
do
how we
love.
extend it to Christmas and like throughout.
yeah,
Like, that's the whole.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got the
Okay.
6-foot Jack Skellington animatronic, and he stays the whole time.
Nice.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Can I just say I just love I love holiday season, period. So I get very, very excited as soon as like the stores start changing and spider webs come out and the food, because it's just recipes, it's food, it's holiday, it's people starting to share recipes and just thinking about spending time with each other. And even the most workaholic amongst us finds time suddenly to start connecting and reaching out and maybe pacing themselves just a little bit. And I love that so much. So I mean, I'm all about that summer break, and then you mourn it, and then the second that Halloween starts to come in, and Christmas, and all New Year's, it suddenly is just like, wait, who cares about summer? All of a sudden, it's just like such a happy fall and winter. I get really into all of it.
I love
Yeah,
it.
I
Ashley?
love like starting in October. I'm already decorated for Halloween mid-September. I'm like ready. And then after that, just all the fun months come. You have Halloween, then you have Thanksgiving, then my birthday's in December, so it's Vanessa's, then you have Christmas, then you have New Year's. It's like there's so many fun things to look forward to spend with your friends, with your family, go places, see Christmas lights, like Vanessa said, Halloween, like pumpkin patches, like all the horror night things. Like it's just so much fun and a great time to be with friends and family.
Well
it.
said. I love Halloween. I love a haunted house. I love all of that. I love the safe scare when you're going through something and you know someone's gonna jump out at you, but you know you're not gonna get hurt. So that for me is always fun. But I don't know, as I'm getting older and time rips by, I like times when you're able to slow the F down for a minute. It just feels like everything happens so quick. So like I'm a big Thanksgiving guy where you just like figure out a time to be with friends or family and like have a meal where you can talk about being grateful and just like enjoying each other's company for a minute. Christmas, same thing. Like I like the longevity of the time where you have dedicated time to like not doing much. I don't love the build up to Christmas, but I love the presents. But I also just like when everyone's like the day of Christmas when everything's closed and you're just kind of hanging out, being chill, enjoying time together.
When do you actually start? Like, when does everybody actually start swapping into like Christmassy mode or holiday-ish mode?
That's a good question.
I mean,
that's a good question.
I
Like,
do
is it-
feel a little offended when people start playing Christmas music before Halloween's over. Like I'm all about
same.
Mariah
For
Carey
Halloween.
signaling to me when it's time.
But
'Cause
what
she'd
about
be right
Thanksgiving?
there.
Is
She
Thanksgiving
says
too
Yeah.
soon?
yeah.
No,
she said
Thanksgiving's not
I
too
would
soon.
say
That's what I'm saying. It's
mid-November.
right after Halloween for me. I'm
Yeah.
totally okay for it to start creeping in. You know what I mean?
Wow.
But I like a good fall personally.
Okay.
Like I like it
Mm.
having that moment, a break between Halloween and Christmas. That's what I love me some Mariah, so I'm okay with that. That she kind of creeps in right away. But I do like that in between period of time where it's because as a New Yorker, we actually get the changing of leaves. So
Yeah.
it really is its own moment that I really savor. That's just kind of a little bit harder in some places like in LA that doesn't have so much of a traditional season change. I like that season change of just that, as you said that when you said Christmas, I thought apples and pumpkins and just the air and just the crunch of the leaves under, before that snow, and then anticipation in that next wave. I like that transition.
I always say Christmas music comes after Thanksgiving.
Okay.
That's what I say. I'm exactly in agreement. For the same
But is there
reason
like
that
a
you just
Thanksgiving song? That's my problem. It's like, what do you do? What do you like? What do you do in between?
It's Super Bowl. It's all like,
you guys, there's a real money-making opportunity here.
You know what I mean?
A
Like
Thanksgiving standard.
There's not anything there.
we need a Thanksgiving
There's
anthem.
nothing there, and that's Thanksgiving.
I feel like vintagey, like old music, like
Jazz.
still like a fall, like jazz. Yeah, anything
Jazz
Like,
vibe.
I love
Mhm.
jazz music in general. I always have that on, but that always feels very cozy, very fall to me without going right into like a Christmas thing.
Yeah.
But like for me, decorations, I'm always so early, like 2 weeks in November, I'll start putting up Christmas trees. Like I still leave one in my bedroom all year round. Like it's there because I'm crazy.
Wow.
But I love to get the house decorated early.
Wait, is it decorated all year long?
No. But I do keep.
But you
my
just have a
Christmas
pine
up.
tree. Wow.
Yeah, but with lights on it. But I
That's
just never wanted to
amazing.
leave my room.
That's fair.
Love that.
I have a flamingo out front that's still lit year round. Does that count?
Amazing.
Maybe.
Awesome.
Okay, I have a question. Real tree or fake tree?
Fake. I want
All
a
of
real
the
tree,
above.
but I've tried and they're so hard to keep up.
Yeah.
Like so hard. The watering, the lights, like it's too much.
True.
So fake.
The smell of the real tree is good.
So nice.
So
Yeah.
good.
The depth
I've
of
had
the
the
real
same tree
is-
though. I've had the
They
same
make-
tree from my childhood. I have
Oh,
my
wow.
grandmother's tree.
Oh, cute.
Because they say a
What?
lot about the fake trees, like they're not like environmentals per se if you don't use them for a really long time. But it's been over 40 years we've had this tree.
Wow,
It's
vintage.
amazing. Yeah.
That's
So
Really
it's a
cute.
trip. And so
Oh,
it's
I
up,
love
it's still up
that.
in my house.
I love it.
I'm with you, Ashley. Like sometimes I'll take it down, but most of the time, once it's up, it's like that's up.
I
That's
just
it.
love it.
I just
So
love
fun.
it too.
We can get those sticks too that you can throw in the fake trees that make it smell like a real tree.
that's
Oh,
good.
yeah.
Yeah, we
Nice.
do that too. All right. So in terms of, we talked about kind of like when does Mariah Carey actually defrost? I think we've kind of put a pin on the fact that it's sometimes maybe before or after Thanksgiving, but it's closer towards Thanksgiving. So I feel like that's fine. In terms of taking down decorations or putting up, I feel like Ash, you said, Neil, when do you put up decorations?
Yeah, we try to wait till after Thanksgiving. Try and do like a December blitz.
Got you. And does everybody keep like same decorations? Like Rosario's had the same tree, or do you guys kind of like switch it up in terms of colors or like whatever you're feeling for the season?
I feel like
I
it
really-
takes such a long time to like culminate ornaments that
Yeah.
like once you've committed to a color story, like I don't know, I feel like you just got to stick with it.
Gotcha.
Yeah. My grandmother had multiple sets,
Mhm.
and I kept
Nice.
most of her stuff. Like that was of all the things that she had, the thing that I really kept were her decorations because she loved her decorations. My grandmother loved her fake flower. So I've got like all these different sets. And actually, it was just this past year that it was like, it's a lot to go through every year to be like, do we go with the red, the white, the green? Like she had so much stuff that I was like, and I end up pretty much using the same thing. So I'm kind of with you now. And it be like, I love that she wanted to switch it up, but she was retired. I think she just had something different. I like the idea of maybe just having, because I've collected ornaments from around the world and stuff, and it's nice to kind of reuse them again rather than trying to think of some theme. It's a lot of work.
If you're looking for ornaments, here's a good tip: is throw a party at your house and have it be like a tree trimming party, and ask everyone to bring an ornament.
That's
And then
so
all of a
smart.
sudden,
That's
you
smart.
wind up with like 40 really impressive, cool ornaments that are by friends. That said, my
That's
husband
fun.
and I have multiple trees because friggin' David only wants on the main tree in the living room, only wants gold and white. Everything, gold and
I'm
white.
not the only one. See? Okay.
Right, but here's the thing. I like the friggin' Muppets. I like
Right.
the Nightmare
So you
Before. I like
can
the
have
Haunted
different-
Mansion. Where are those
Haunted
go? What? What? And so those are relegated to like a small little tree in the back.
You got the side chick tree.
I got the kids' table tree of the fun ornaments that sing and do things. I'm still bent about it, but the
We
main
do
tree does look
separate
very gay and
trees.
posh.
We have that. We have like the tree that has, like its color way for the year. And then daughter has her tree that has like some of my old ornaments that are on it that I've same thing collected from all over the years. And then we have like another tree someplace else. Now we're just like collecting trees at this point, but same thing. Like there's like not a proper tree, but some sort of tree that, yeah, something along those lines.
You gotta have the aesthetic tree, and then you
Yeah.
have the fun tree.
Yeah. And then there's like a tree that has
I
like
like
the crazy-
those words. That wording is better. I always think of like the main tree and
The
like
main
the sad
The side
kid tree in the back. But the fun tree makes me happier.
Good. Glad I can help.
Here's what I want to do. I want to start instead of the outside decorating because that's a pain in the tush.
It is.
Because
Yes.
my ass is on a ladder, like hooking this stuff together. No joke. But I want to start doing the projection mapping.
Oh,
those are
yeah.
fun.
Oh wow, yeah.
Because
Yeah.
now you can just have a thing that like takes your whole house and it can do everything. It maps your whole house. I don't know what it costs. It must be ridiculously expensive.
Yeah.
But easier to press play and then have your whole house like
Yeah.
warp and Santa appear.
I love
That's
it.
That's the
cool.
dream. That's the dream.
I feel like
everyone.
that would
You're
be
looking to
fun
get me a
too for
Christmas gift.
Halloween though too.
You
Yeah.
can
That
for
would be
Halloween.
Year round. Then you could just seriously mess with people year round at that point.
Yeah,
What is
that's
in
definitely my
this?
favorite part of the deliciousness. That's what I've got in ours.
Oh.
That's what we're drinking. So, cheers. So hard. But you said that earlier about the going to visit and see the lights and Christmas lights and stuff, and I definitely love that for Halloween and for Christmas, and even some people just do fall. Like I really love that people just to kind of see your neighbors' personalities and kind of go to different neighborhoods and how they do it. And it was one of my favorite things to do when I lived in Venice in LA was to bring my family when they came out for Christmas in the warmth to see palm trees covered up with Christmas lights.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
And just how they would do the boats and the water and stuff
So
like that.
cute.
It was
So
very cute. Yeah.
I love it. So everybody's like holiday drink is what's coming in right now. So what's everybody's holiday drink?
Mm.
Well, we've got our easy go-tos.
You have like a fun twist on your drink. Like, is there anything else? So you kind of like spiced it up with like some cinnamon or apple or.
Mine's the easy
Yeah.
answer because I've got espresso martini happening here from the Thomas Ashbourne, and it goes with a nog quite well.
Does it? Ooh,
Yeah.
I want to try that. I love me a nog.
I've
Or
thrown a
even
little
like a
oat milk in it
peppermint
before.
espresso martini. Like I want to try
Peppermint.
different things with
Ooh.
the espresso martini. It'd be so cute. Candy
Mm.
cane,
Really-
espresso
That's a
martini.
really good idea.
I like.
A lot of things. But also any one of these is just perfect because you pour it, put it in a cute glass, put some decorations like on the rim, sprinkles, whatever, and like you're good to go and you have a great night ahead of you.
Strong drink. As my
Strong
dad
drink.
says, because we had the little cans and they kept disappearing in my house. And I kept being like, where are they going? And then my dad texts me and it was like a whole thing. He was like, hey, I'm trying to get it, but I was worried if I got sent and I shipped it or something, maybe it would break or something. So do you think you can send it? I'm like, it's literally the same thing, but that's totally okay, Dad. And he was like, yeah, because he's like, I really like them. And I go, but they're really strong, Dad, like you got to be careful with them. He goes, yeah, that's why I sip them. It's like, all right, Dad, just by himself, just hanging out at the house. Like he doesn't need the holidays for it, but I like it, obviously in a pretty goblet.
In your glass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've got mine in my little Halloween glass.
I
Oh,
put
that's
sparkling
cute.
water.
Yeah.
I like it in the sparkling water.
Mhm.
I like a little spice in it too. It's nice to throw in a little
Yeah, like
spice.
tahini on the rim is really nice. Like I
Little
put like little
jalapeno.
orange slices in it or jalapeno.
Mhm.
Lots of things. It's so
Love
funny though because I remember a couple times when I do glam, like if people want to drink whatever, they'll have anything from Thomas Ashbourne, but they'll have a can and I put it in a little glass and we'll end glam and it'll be like, I am pretty tipsy. I'm like, well, yeah, I forgot to say they're strong. But it's like,
Because you think one can, you're like, good. You're
yeah,
like,
it's like, oh, it's not that bad. They're like, I actually feel like a little tipsy. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Yeah, you're
but
You could do a cranberry margarita. That would be kind of festive.
Yeah,
Nice.
I like it.
Ooh, and you can make it look kind of
blood
blood-like.
orange margarita
Oh.
Done.
or food coloring.
Mhm.
The black margarita with a spider on.
Speaking of, well, let's talk about food real quick because we're getting some food stuff in. In terms of food, like what's our favorite? Well, I guess we can go with Thanksgiving-ish because that's kind of like staple into it. But what's like the favorite go-to for Thanksgiving? We turkey, stuffing, cranberry, no cranberry sauce. What kind of cranberry sauce?
I love
Oh, man.
stuffing.
Yeah,
Stuffing
me
and like
too.
a lot of gravy on it and mashed potatoes and turkey.
I'm a traditionalist in the same way. I don't mind if you want to do some weird fennel sausage weirdness stuffing. I don't mind it, but I also want the OG stuffing, like
Got you.
the
Same.
stick to your ribs stuff. And my
Yeah.
favorite meal is the sandwich after.
Yes,
The
Like
leftovers,
deep
yeah.
stacked mashed potatoes, stuffing, turkey, everything on there. That's the
So
dream.
good.
Cranberry sauce. Are we like original, like make your own cranberry sauce? We canned. What are we?
No
I don't
nuts.
like cranberry sauce.
Really?
I
Hot
don't know
take.
why. I don't. I just like a lot of gravy.
Fair.
I normally don't like cranberry sauce either, except for Thanksgiving, like that. And I like the big chunks in it. Like I grew up with the canned. I'm totally okay with just having that little bit, just because it's kind of tart, just to mix with everything else. It's nice for a couple bites. But
Yeah.
I've definitely, as an adult, have grown for those actual little chunky little cranberries, and that's amazing. I was with you on the stuffing. I was one of the first things I grew up learning how to make, and sprinkling in like a sparkling apple cider to give it like a little punch with all the other stuff that we could put into it, and it just does something to it. But gravy is a must. If you don't have
Yes.
gravy, don't even invite me over. Like that's just, I don't even know what you're doing. Like you're just not taking it seriously. And we do the thing we just came up with in the past couple of years is an after pot pie.
Oh.
Oh,
wow.
We will take the leftovers and make a pot pie with it. And when I tell you,
That's a
That's
great
a
idea.
it's
fantastic
next
idea.
level. It's
That
amazing.
sounds so good.
Like
Sparkling
with the
cider.
turkey and the stuffing, like all the things.
We'll put all the things. We'll have the gravy. We'll have with the turkey. Like we'll just make it on the night and put it right in the freezer, and then we can take it out because we put the crust and everything, and then we'll have the other leftovers to make sandwiches and to do the other things. Because one of the things that we always do for Thanksgiving in my family and Christmas is pernil, which is pork shoulder.
Mhm.
It's very
Wow.
Puerto Rican. Like it doesn't feel like a holiday unless you have some pernil.
How do you
And
pronounce it?
pernil, pernil. I even made one time leftover dumplings. I did wontons and dumplings left over with the pork afterwards. I'm telling you, like
Damn.
this is why I love the whole season is like everything to me, because it's just like
I
food that you
really
just wouldn't
am-
eat in the rest of the year.
I'm
I
now
know.
just
But that
fishing
time
for
of
an
the year.
invite, Rosario.
I
Man,
don't even know where to begin. You're too good of a chef for me.
I'm saying.
So wait, so then what do we do for Christmas? So if we have that, so is the Christmas the ham thing, or what's the consensus on Christmas?
Good question.
My dad likes ham. I'm not a big ham person.
Me neither.
I like the sweet meat.
I kind of
I
normally
like-
go for like a steak dinner and like pasta is normally the Christmas dinner in my house.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
We'll do a prime rib or something that feels like meat and fancy. Although a few years we went to Christmas Eve, we'd take the family and go to a restaurant and do the Feast of the Seven Fishes.
Yeah.
You know what that is? That's
Yeah,
like
I
an
just did that for
Italian
the first
tradition.
time. Mhm.
Yeah.
All of the
Yes.
dishes are seafood in some way, and it has to do with luck and prosperity and abundance because fish there
They
during
mean
that time
things.
of the year. And
Yeah.
it was kind of nice. It was kind of a cool, different way to do it after having all the turkey and all of the stuff for Thanksgiving to do a nice seafood meal. But I like a good fancy, like juicy prime rib, almost British style. That's good.
Oh, and crab legs. I feel like are always.
Oh, yeah, we do
must.
stone crabs.
Yeah.
We've done that too. Shows.
Amazing. Even when I've been like full vegan, full vegetarian, or full whatever, usually something like that'll creep in on the holidays because it just is kind of hard to. I've done a vegan one, and then I've had my family be mad at me for feeling like I ruined the holiday. So I was like, I had my Cuban auntie like, no carne. ¿Qué es esto? Like he had never been so insulted in his life.
You committed sin. In terms of like favorite holiday movies to kind of like kick off the holidays, is there something that you guys go back to watch where you're signaling like now is the time? In terms of movies,
The Holiday is
Yeah.
always one of my favorites. The movie The Holiday.
Love it, love it.
And then
I don't
Home
know the movie The
Alone.
Holiday. What is that?
With Cameron Diaz and Kate Winslet. It's the best ever.
And Jude Law.
And Jack
Yeah,
Black.
I like.
All of these
I have to
things
watch
down.
it every year, and
So
it's
good.
Really?
the best. You'd love it.
I haven't
With
seen
Jack
that in
Black,
so
it's
long.
So
I would
I
watch
have
that
to watch
again.
it every single year. It's so fun. And
That's
Home
fun.
Alone.
Yeah.
The Grinch.
Yeah,
White
that's
Christmas
good.
is always a good one to kick it off too.
Love Grinch. It's interesting because growing up, it was definitely Christmas Story, and then as like a young adult, I was definitely like Die Hard. That is a Christmas movie.
Sure.
And then you kind of go to get out of it. I mean, now I'm kind of like, Love Actually for a while there. And
Yeah.
Good.
obviously, like, It's a Wonderful Life,
I was
but
about
it's
to
kind
say, I didn't want to
Yeah.
sound too old, but that
no,
one is,
It's a Wonderful Life is precious.
and the
Precious.
way like
Gremlins.
Frank Capra designed that movie to be so static and still and like more than just a movie. So that's one to cuddle around the fireplace and watch for sure. Gremlins, good call.
Gremlins, Charlie Brown.
Gremlins. Yeah.
Oh man.
We have a Hocus Pocus call out, obviously going back into October, so that's always a clutch good one.
Oh,
Love
Yeah.
Hocus Pocus. I'm so excited to
Nightmare
have
Before
Haunted
Christmas.
Mansion out now because I just had like a whole family telling me
Yes.
how much they loved it. And like,
Yes.
I love a holiday movie, and I think it's really good and fun and spooky. It has some good jump scares in it.
cute.
It's really fun.
Yeah,
Loved
so
it.
cute. Love it.
I have
So
a
what's
little
your
mini haunted
favorite-
mansion.
Did you get to take
in my
any of the
house.
props or anything home with you?
No.
Oh
You
man,
should
look at your
have.
eyes moving. I'm so jealous. I collect. I'm a big Haunted Mansion theme park collector. I have.
Really?
We should talk offline because I've
So I met this
purchased-
woman who was a stewardess who said
Yeah.
she had her dad was one of the people who helped to design the ride.
Nice.
And she told me this really cool story that one of their big investors went to go and see the ride early. And they were like, it's not ready to be ridden yet because we're still working out the kinks. But he was a massive donor. So it was like he insisted. So he decided to go on. And this was when the chair, when it went down, was still facing forward.
Oh,
And so they
wow.
literally
Pushing-
fell out of it and got pushed out of it, which is where that
Wow.
whole joke came from.
Oh,
But
wow.
when that moment happened, the investor was like, maybe the chair should switch. And that's when they made it in the ride where when it gets to that point, it turns around and then you go
And then you
down
go
backwards. But that's because this like massive donor whose name you would totally know got thrown from the ride when it
That's
was still
crazy.
being designed. And she pulled me aside. She was like, my dad just died. And it was one of my favorite stories about King and I wanted to tell you because she loved
That's
the movie. I thought that was so
fantastic.
cool.
I was working on a TV show late in the seasons, and so I had expendable income, and there was an auction for Haunted Mansion stuff, and I wanted stuff, and so I wound up bidding on a Haunted Mansion stretching portrait, one of the original ones. It's big and it's amazing. It's a guy, he's on a TNT dynamite thing, and his pants are at his ankles, and I was like, F it, I want this. I worked my whole life and I love the Haunted Mansion, and I don't even know how much it's gonna cost, but I want this. So I started bidding, and then I'm online doing it, and I'm bidding and there's like other people, and then suddenly I'm about to win, someone else bids, and I keep bidding, and then I start getting mad, and I'm like bidding and bidding and bidding and bidding and bidding and bidding and bidding, and I won it, and it was this like a stupid amount of money. The most I've ever paid for a piece of art. I mean, not hundreds of thousands of dollars. It was like very expensive. And then Chris Hardwick, who's a friend, calls me a couple days later, and he's like, "Were you part of the Haunted Mansion auction?" I said, "Yeah, dude, I won the stretching portrait." He goes, "That was you?" you know who you were bidding against? I said, you? He goes, for a minute, but no. And I said, who? He goes, Jeff Bezos.
Oh my gosh, that is so.
So I got it. I beat Jeff
So
Bezos
funny.
in an
Good
auction.
job.
That's awesome. I love it.
Round of applause.
That's how much I love the Haunted Mansion. So
That's so
congratulations,
fun.
Rosario. You're amazing.
Amaze. That's so cool.
I love it.
Do we have any like fun or like amazing holiday memories that you guys would want to share, you know, with Thomas Ashbourne family and fans, or
No.
no? Keep it to yourself. Or anything that are, you know, kind of like makes you feel warm and fuzzy, or, you know, something that you really love about the holiday times. I know we talked a little bit about, you know, kind of like being around family and gatherings and things like that, bringing ornaments,
I mean,
you
this
know,
is kind
around
of
the
like
party.
a great memory, but also like a tip for the holidays.
Mhm.
I went through a phase where like I loved like I mean, I always love like throwing parties and having people over, but like I started hiring a pianist who would come with like a little booklet of Christmas carols. And so everyone would gather around the piano and like have the booklet. And it would be like not even trying to sound good. It's just kind of like scream singing Christmas carols because everyone's kind of drunk, you know?
Yeah.
So it's not even about how it sounds, but it was just like so much fun having everyone gathered around the piano, just like literally being merry and jolly. So if you're gonna
That's
have a
an
holiday
amazing
party and have
idea.
a piano, highly recommend hiring a pianist.
That's
I
really
That's
love it.
awesome.
That's
That's a
I
good
fun.
love
one.
that. I went to a Christmas party and they had carolers on the way in, and it was just so like all dressed up, and it was just like so fun. I know a lot of people who go caroling,
Yeah.
which is really fun. Any like big
We
New Year's things anyone wants to mention? Oh, sorry, Neil, you were going to say something.
we had a party once at our place in Harlem, New York, and everyone was there. And then all of a sudden, there was a knock at the door, and we acted surprised, even though David and I knew. And the doors opened, and it was carolers, and they came in, and it was this group called the East Coast Inspirational Singers. That was like this Harlem gospel choir, and they came up and they stood and they sang like 9 of the most unbelievable Christmas carols sung with such like passion and heart. And to watch everyone who didn't realize that the party contained entertainment to feel like, wait, what's happening? And then be blasted by Christmas carols sung right was really special and something I'll remember forever. Because those are great songs, you know, and
Yeah.
often sort of sung by people who can't keep a
Drunk at
tune,
parties.
drunk at parties. But boy, when it's sung by people who are harmonizing and living the spirit of the song, it was like, it was a very special, goosebumpy kind of moment.
Do we have like a favorite song from everybody?
Oh, oh, Holy Night. I love it.
Oh my god, that was
Okay.
the first one that just entered my mind.
Really? Nice.
Ashley, what
Grandma
about you?
got run over by a reindeer. Just kidding.
There you go.
Though it really does come into my mind. I sing it every year.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas too. Classic.
Good deal, good deal.
What
We
about
do
you,
Dominic
Ashley?
the Donkey. Ashley, what about you?
I mean, all the like popular Christmas songs, but again, I just love having jazz music. So I'll put on like Chet Baker, Frank Sinatra, Ella Fitzgerald. Like
Yeah.
that's just my whole kind of mood. I love it, and yeah, I go that way. But again, like
Great.
like all the my mom always has 103.5 on, and it's like Christmas all day long, so it's fun. But I go
There's
more.
that channel on Sirius, 40s on 4, that plays 1940s music all the time, and I listen to it a ton. And then
But yeah,
in December, it switches and they
To
stop
Christmas?
playing 40s music and they switch to Christmas. And I'm so mad always because I'm like, no. I love me a Mariah, but I also want to hear the
Where's my
English
Artie Shaw?
Oh, nice. Agreed. Yeah.
What about musicals? Do we have like favorite musicals that we would watch?
last year I
Right.
went to go see.
I mean, Rent is very good for Christmas as well, Oppie.
Yeah.
Truth.
I went to see Nightmare
New
Before
Year's.
Christmas, like with Danny Elfman last year at the Bowl, which was really fun.
Oh, wow.
And Catherine O'Hara came. Like it was unbelievable. So much fun. If they do it again this year, which I think they do it every year, I think.
Yeah, I went like
But that
2
was
years
insane.
ago.
It was so much fun.
Yeah.
So fun.
Love it.
Mhm.
All right. In terms, I know Rosario was asking before about New Year's, like New Year's plans. Are we into like big New Year's, chill New Year's? What's the New Year's vibe?
I mean, I feel like it switches up for me. I've done the like meditation into it and party or just I think my favorite one was in Ghana. We went for the year of return.
Oh, wow.
And it was really powerful to all be there. And we stayed up and partied all night. And then we ended up at the ocean for the sunrise. And that was really, really special. And I took my daughter to that. That was really, really special.
That's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
I like the tropical New Year because we
Okay.
live in New York, so it's always really cold by late December, and it's lovely, but it's been that way and it's going to stay that way. So to go somewhere super warm, to be on a beach, I like a good party, but when it gets too crazy and you're ending your year like drunk and forgetting and hungover is not my favorite. So I kind of like to end the year in reflection, like like knee deep in warm water, talking about the year that was and like thinking about the year that might be.
Gotcha.
I'm a
Are
big
you?
kind of like stay at homer. I like I
Mm,
will either have people over or yeah, that's pretty much it. People over, like go to a nice dinner,
Yeah.
but then like be home and like be cozy and yeah, like kind of meditate on what I want to bring in for the next year and like kind of write out some goals, maybe like put together a vision board. Just kind of like going into the year with like a plan and like clear vision, I think is so important.
Yeah, I feel
Love
like
it.
as I get older, I get more just fine being at home. Like last year, I was in bed at 9 p.m., but I was also like 7 months pregnant. But like the last 2 years, it's been very relaxed, just at someone's house. Like this year will probably be the same thing because I'm going to be with my kid and just more like wholesome vibes. I've already done all the crazy New
Right.
Year's parties. And so now I'm like, I kind of just want to wake up the next day feeling great and like, still have a good time. But I can't be up past like 1 now. Like the other night, I said till midnight, and I was like, "What did I do?" Like I couldn't even believe it. I'm in bed like at 9:30 on the weekends every day. I'm like, "What happened?" But like that's just it. So something cozy and comfortable.
Is there
Are
like
y'all big on what do you call it? The resolutions, New Year's resolutions?
I do, but I never stick to them. So I write them down and I'm like, okay, I'll try.
I try and do like
Yeah,
two
no.
or three but more like single word resolutions as opposed to I'm gonna exercise more. I'll do like breathing as like a resolution. So like a word that I can retain
kind of
longer than
yeah.
or like reflection was one of my resolutions of like to try and just think more about to spend a little time after you do a thing thinking about what you just did and just kind of saving space, giving grace to the moment as opposed to just like hurtling through things.
I love that.
So those would be my
Just
resolutions, those kind of things.
I
I love
had
that.
somebody tell me to do it at the top of December before it gets crazy into the holidays. So, like, if you were to say like breathing and you're supposed to focus on that before you get into the madness, so then you don't turn into a psychopath by the time the holidays roll around. That kind of works
I
too,
like that.
Triggering though.
right?
I like the after thing. Like I'm probably going to do Veganuary again in January, which is really nice and just sort of, which is
That's
interesting
cool.
to do that a little cleansing kind of thing afterwards into the new year.
Veganuary. I've never
I know,
heard
I
that.
love that.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, so tell me more. What is that?
It's just you're eating vegan, so no animal
Oh,
products, no
okay.
dairy, no anything like that. And usually, especially after the holidays, which can get so insane. So I tend to eat pretty clean anyway and stuff, but sometimes you go a little nuts with those Popeyes, you know what I mean?
I want
Pork
Popeye.
shoulder, baby.
Yeah, that sounds good. So in terms of like relaxing and unwinding, what's everybody's like go-to? Is it, quiet corner in a book? Is it, what does it look like?
In general, like just at the end, like every day in life.
Well, let's go with that. Yeah. And then we'll say like, how do you recover from the holidays too?
I'm like, I love a good bath at the end of the day. Like
I take a bath every day. I love it.
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
bath, like a little, like turning your fireplace on and like just like
Yes.
cuddling with like my dog.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
But a
Spending
bath
Talk
time
about-
is
with kids
essential.
is good, but a book
Yeah.
is great too because it does force you to kind of grab a blanket and pick a comfortable spot and sit still. So I do
And
like
like
cuddle in a
focus.
corner with a book. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish I read more. I read a quote saying somewhere like you buy books for the time to read them. So I definitely have quite the stacks of books that I intend to read and have the time for, but I don't always make. But the bath thing is 1,001,000%. Talk about another movie, Splash. It's like built into my DNA. I
Splash is
watched that
good.
movie as a kid. Daryl Hannah, Tom Hanks, getting into that tub with the salts.
Mm.
That is like I need that. I need that inside time and bath time. I need my little bath time, my quiet time.
Love it. Well, if
Ladies
we were
who
like,
bathe.
yes. If we were like,
a babe.
we like to bathe. If we were like turning it up, what would our be if we were like partying and we were going out in terms of like karaoke? What's like your go-to favorite karaoke song?
Tequila.
Oh, that's fun.
What
I
else?
loathe karaoke. I don't like it at all. I don't like it at all.
What?
I'll tell you why, because it's the
It's
same
fun.
reason I don't like going to watch other people sing karaoke,
Okay.
because it's the same reason I don't like going to like a stand-up comedy like Yuck Yucks or something, because you're sitting there and unless they're really good,
Yeah,
then I don't want to clap. Like if people are like trying hard and they're not that good, then I'm not gonna like cheer them on and say how great they are. I'm not gonna be mad about it. But if a stand-up comic's like mediocre, and it's not funny, I'm not gonna laugh to make him feel good, and then he's gonna get mad at me because I'm not laughing at his jokes, right? So at karaoke, I'm amazed. The best people at karaoke are people that don't give a shit, that are just there having fun. They don't care. When I'm up there, I've like performed on stage before, and so people are like, oh, he's gonna do a thing, and then all the pressure's different, and so I can't. I'm like nervous, feeling like I'm supposed to be presenting I'm supposed to be performing the number, and so I'm in my head. It's no fun.
I get that. That's fair.
I love
But
karaoke.
that's a terrible first response to karaoke.
You called
What
it
are
the
your
yuck
go-to
yuck.
songs? Yeah, exactly.
Vanessa, what's yours?
Mine is like Desiree, You Gotta Be, because it's
Okay.
easy, it's a vibe, it's a bop.
Nice.
But like I was filming a movie in this tiny little town in Oklahoma, and across the street from our hotel, which was also our green room, was this bar, and they would have karaoke's on Fridays nights. And rather than just sitting in our green room, we would go across the street and we would do karaoke.
Wow.
And I will never forget singing. What is that song called? It's by Evanescence. It's like "Wake Me Up, Wake Me Up
Oh,
Inside."
Yeah, wait,
Yeah.
yeah, got you.
I did that song, and the entire bar was doing like the rap part, and it was just like the most iconic, random experience that I will
That's
never forget.
great.
That's
That's
fun.
dope.
Ash,
I
how
had-
are you?
Mhm.
I'm also like, I like karaoke, but I'm like too shy to like get up there. So like, if it's a private room, fine with me and my friends. Anything really that they pick, because I'm more of a viewer. But like, I love Genie in a Bottle. That's always kind of what I do,
Fun.
because all my friends like to do it with me, so I'm not alone. But
Nice.
yeah, I like to
Yeah.
watch. And then if I'm drunk, I'll join it.
There you go.
Yeah. My family takes karaoke very seriously, so we'll spend hours and hours there and go through like the entire booklet and just like from metal to like Disney songs to pop to it's like everything. And we've got some sleeper cells like in our group who just like come through and are incredible singers and then just drunken singing, which is fun. But I made the mistake of doing Sweet Child of Mine once at the Grove. They had like that stage at the Grove, and I was up there and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot
That
that
sounds
very
fun.
long guitar solo. So I was just
Oh,
up there like
right.
air guitar.
Shannon.
That is so ballsy of you. I love it.
Yeah. Dumb, ballsy.
Dance
Same,
break.
but different.
So we have like 5 minutes left before we're going to sign off in terms of that. But we had a question about in terms of what kind of inspired you guys to make the drinks and, you know, why the drinks, and kind of talk through that real quick.
Well, clearly we like to drink.
Yes.
That's where it started.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, like we're all like big, me, Ashley, Rosario, like really big margarita fans, and it's like for us, that's like our moment with our girls. Like we love like chips guacamole, like margarita, like that's just the best. I feel like some of my best memories are like with my girls drinking margs. And we were like, it's difficult, you know, like it takes a decent amount of work. You got to like put in the time, the energy, and if you're a perfectionist like I am, it has to be perfect every time. And we were just like, there has to be a way to like make this easy. And like we put our minds together and came up with the perfect combination of the flavor profiles and taste and strength that you can just like really just enjoy the time with your friends and not have to like worry about the production of making a cocktail and like have an easy pour right at your fingertips.
Totally.
And I always say, like, if you're having a bad day, at least for me, I've always been this way. I always call my friends to go to a Mexican meal because I just want a margarita. It's always, it fixes my day. It makes me happy. And like for us to be able to create an amazing one that's so easy, comes in a bottle. Also, our cans you could take anywhere and you just pour it in a glass and you have an amazing cocktail that tastes so good. And it's just easy and it's accessible. So it was important for us to, make the best tasting one and be able to have it ready whenever. You don't have to make it. You just pour it in a cute glass.
Yeah.
For
Yeah,
me, I was
exactly.
like, I had heard so much about espresso martinis, and I'd loved them, but they require even more work than a marg, right? Because you
Yeah.
have to pour an actual espresso, and so if you're at a bar, I feel bad for the waiters and for the mixers because you have to like two different people are mixing the things together. So I don't often order it. So I thought, oh, that would be a really strong call for an RTD bottle thing, and when you have hooch that also has caffeine in it. It's good when you're going to start your night. It's great when you're out with friends. It's also great when you're done and you're home and you want to continue the night. It's good for game nights. It's good for concerts, right? So I was looking at it more like as a fancy drink that also is practical in its own way. And we knocked it out of the park with this one. It keeps winning awards.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thrilled.
It does. All right. Well, we are just about rounding it out. I just want to remind everybody, this is all for benefiting Feeding America. So if you guys want to donate to the link, it's in our bio for Thomas Ashbourne. And we hope you guys have a wonderful holiday season. Is there anything else you guys want to say before we kind of take off here?
Happy
Ho,
holidays.
ho, ho!
Happy
Hos.
holidays. It's great to see you all. Sending you all so much love and safety and happiness and joy.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Definitely.
cheers to Thomas Ashbourne.
Yes.
Thanks, guys. All right. We'll see you later.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
I can't wait to see your costumes.